All right. So what we are working on at the BioFi project is bioregional finance for planetary regeneration. We are a collective supporting bioregions around the world to design, build, and implement bioregional financing facilities that connect financial resources and regenerators. You have probably heard we published a book a couple of weeks ago. There's a free ebook available on our website at biofi.earth. The print version will be available for order soon, and we'll send out an announcement once that's available for purchase. And this book walks through this moment in human history, geological history, talks about the meta crisis and the ecological crisis that we're experiencing, and the lack of a commensurate response from economic institutions and financial institutions, and lays out a proposal to develop a new layer in the global financial system of what we call bioregional financing facilities, a new type of financial institution that's in service to the regenerative movement. And in the book, we lay out templates for 4 types of bioregional financing facilities, or what we call BFFs: the bioregional trust, the bioregional venture studio, the bioregional investment company, and the bioregional bank. And we'll get more into these bioregional financing facilities and their templates and how we can build them together on future sessions. But I just wanted to provide a little bit of context today, and then we're going to talk more about the BioFi project and the BioFi community of practice. So the BioFi project is this team of 12 of us that is here to help with designing, prototyping, growing, implementing a new type of financial institution, these BFFs that connect flows from capital to the flows of life. And the BioFi project does this by spreading the BioFi meme and hosting a community that can help to spread that meme and deepen our understanding of what it means. We're telling this story about the potential of BFFs to people from all types of institutions, all sectors, and all around the world. We are engaging in consulting and capacity building with bioregions and investors and people that want to invest in a bioregional way. We are stewarding this community of practice. We are developing a network of BioFi aligned partners, and we are hosting a BioFi venture studio where we'll be building and incubating tech and tools to support the bioregional movement and bioregional finance in particular. The BioFi project is staffed by a team of practitioners working in the areas of economics, finance, governance, bioregionalism, ecology, systems design, and regeneration. And we're here to be of service to bioregions. And yeah, you're all here today in this BioFi community of practice. We're so grateful for your participation. And we are hoping that this community can enable you to connect with other people doing this work, share best practices, discover new ideas and opportunities, and learn from each other, as well as leaders in specific areas of bioregional finance. So this is the team, the amazing team behind the BioFi project. You will meet all of them in the coming weeks and months together. I feel very grateful to have these brilliant hearts and minds by my side as we do this work. And these are our partners that we will be calling in to support all of you in your bioregional finance endeavors. And yeah, with that, maybe I hand it over to my colleague and co-founder, Edward West, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Edward. We decided to host a community of practice birthday party for Edward. And Edward, maybe you could say a little bit more about the vision you're holding for this community of practice and the work that we're going to do together
For
here.
sure, for sure. Yeah, thank you, Sam, and thank you for all of you for attending this morning and afternoon and evening, wherever you might be. Yeah, so my name is Edward, and I'm I guess you could say a systems entrepreneur across a variety of projects. And over the last year that I've gotten to know Sam, I was inspired by the work that she was putting into what ultimately became this bioregional financing facilities book. And we got to talking about, what would it take to actually turn the kind of the tools and templates and ideas and concepts into this book, to turn that into a movement, into a community of practice, into a kind of vibrant beating heart of what I think will become this global bioregional financing movement. And I think if you're here today, you probably realize why this is important. And but not everybody in the world yet knows. And so I think this is a really ripe and beautiful opportunity to bring people like yourselves, the leading practitioners of bioregional finance, the people working on important grassroots projects in your region, or in kind of different kinds of global structures and infrastructure to support this kind of organizing, to bring them all together into a vibrant and alive community of practice where we can learn about each other, we can learn from each other, we can grow our own initiatives, we can find in this mutual awareness of each other's work, we can find different kinds of collaborative possibilities that emerge. I think it's high time, to develop an economy that is in service to life. And I think we are the ones who are defining and developing that. And so our invitation in this community of practice is for you to really be brave in putting yourself out there, sharing the projects that you're working on, sharing the things that you're challenged by and need support with, sharing opportunities that you can offer. And out of this kind of communication, we can start to see how to weave this relational fabric of generosity and reciprocity. And this is a journey of discovery. It does not have an end. We are going to be meeting uh, on a regular cadence and developing what this becomes together. And I invite all of you onto this journey to build the tools and the systems and the infrastructure that are needed to create the kind of transformation that I think all of us know is possible and is desperately needed right now in the world. And I am deeply honored to be here with all of you and with my extraordinary group of team members and collaborators. And I think we're going to have a fantastic time. With that, I will pass to somebody. Tyler, Claire?
Tyler.
Tyler, there you
Tyler,
go.
thank you
That's
for
cool.
that,
Rock.
Edward.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Edward. Um, yeah, now's the chance where we get to meet each other. And there's already been so many beautiful connections established in the chat. That's been so fun to watch. So please keep doing that throughout the meeting. But we're going to take about 10 minutes here to just help us meet each other. We're going to do some breakout rooms. Okay, I think everyone is back. We all made it. We all made it. Wonderful. Yeah, no one got stranded, I hope. Um, great. So we're going to share a little bit more about the BioFi project and the community and what you can expect coming forward. But before we do that, would love just to get some action going in the chat again, coming out of your breakout groups. I got two questions for you that I'd love people to respond to and share, which is just what needs or requests do you have that the community could support you with? And is there anything that you would love to offer this community? So we'll take just 2 minutes here to think on that. What do you sense this community could help you with or your work? And then is there anything you would love to offer this community? And as you're thinking, if you're feeling any inspiration from just being here, or you heard something beautiful or inspiring in your breakout group, and you want to come off mute and just give voice to that in the space, I totally welcome that for the next 120 seconds.
Yeah, I would like to thank Jane, who was a fly on the wall for with Gil for our breakout and entered in to share with beautiful art and tears a very amazing synopsis of what we're doing here. So just really want to honor her for her words.
Thanks for sharing, Eliza.
I want to give a call out to Dirk van Onsen, who was a classic CEO of a large corporation till his daughter asked him, his 14-year-old daughter, who wrote a book, If Nature Had a Voice, and asked him at dinner, Daddy, what are you doing for climate change? And he went, and didn't want to answer that question twice, and has taken a radical turn and is up to great good. It was awesome hearing his story.
Thanks, Melanie. Is there one more share that wants to come?
It was really awesome to meet new people that are coming to the COP16 in Colombia of biodiversity. So I am here in Bogota and really happy and honored to have this super important event that will gather hopefully many of you guys here. So really happy to be here and share this with you guys.
Welcome, Andre. Bienvenidos. I'm going to launch a quick poll just so we can get a sense of what are all the diverse reasons people have for being here. That's something that'll just help us know how to best serve you all going forward. This should take 10 seconds and then we'll move it forward. Thanks for all the shares in the chat.
Some really beautiful shares in the chat. Thanks to everyone for sharing what you need and what you want to offer to the community. We're going to capture all of this and it will inform our programming and the discussions that we have in the community on high-low, and the poll will too. And feel free to choose multiple of those items.
We'll give it 10 more seconds. Y'all are quick. Thank you so much.
All right. Cool answers. It went away, Tyler. You want to give us a quick recap of what you saw? There we go. So about half of folks are seeking support to build a BFF. That's very cool. 40% are seeking support to implement another BioFi related program. There are many entry points to start working on bioregional finance, and it doesn't have to be a BFF initially. 60% are just wanting to learn more about BioFi. That's great. 81% are wanting to meet aligned partners and collaborators. That's very good because that's going to be a lot of what we're doing here together. 54% are offering support to bioregions, building BFFs. Beautiful. And 6% are seeking opportunities to invest in BFFs. Great. And 1% has something else. And maybe they're sharing that in the chat. Cool. Yeah, Tyler, any more thoughts on that, or should I go ahead and share? Okay. So we have a couple of events that are upcoming. So obviously this welcome call is kind of a special event, but starting in 2 weeks, we will have twice monthly calls for the BioFi community of practice. One call will be focused on field building. And you might have already seen in the Hilo group, we have a form that you can fill out if you have a BioFi related project that you want to share with the BioFi project team, with the broader community, ask questions, ask for support, seek more ideas for how you could be approaching what you're working on. We are inviting folks to fill out this form. And then once a month, we'll invite 2 projects to present what they're up to the community and get feedback in real time. So that call is on July 24th. That'll be our first field building call, and then we'll start doing those once a month. So go ahead and get in your application, and if you don't present in July, like it'll just be kind of a rolling roster, and we'll get people in over time. And then on August 7th, we'll have our first BioFi deep dive, and we'll be doing these calls once a month too. And on those calls, we'll dive into a specific aspect of bioregional finance, including looking at the 4 templates for bioregional financing facilities, but also some of the tools and approaches that we lay out in the BFF's book. We'll probably do a session on eco credits and have our friends from Regen Network come and talk about how their tools and approaches can support the development of bioregional scale eco credits. We'll have some folks come talk about nature-based currencies and what that looks like to start a nature-based currency in your bioregion. And we'll be taking ideas on what you guys want to deep dive into in the community of practice. So that'll be a co-creation process to figure out what we talk about in those deep dive sessions. And yeah, that's kind of it for events. So both of those are live, and the links to sign up are in Hilo. Tyler, I think, also shared them in the chat. Great, thank you, Tyler. And yeah, maybe over to Edward and Tyler to say a little bit more about how folks can engage in the community outside of the events.
I can kick us off, and Edward, please follow up. However,
Great.
yeah, I think the invitation we're really making to you all is to make this your community, and we're asking all of you to take leadership here, to not wait for this group, this place to become what you want it to become, but just make it what you want it to become. And so we have this incredible software platform that can hold us in the digital space, in the digital commons, that we'll see in a little bit and get a tour of. But also consider that this community does not need to just be a digital community, that we're really going to try to support you all in hosting place-based gatherings, because the whole ethic of bioregionalism here is about place and connecting to place and connecting to our more than human family. And so, Hilo is going to be a great place for us to start conversations, to host events, to share our needs and requests and do that networking. But when it comes to that relationality, that deep time, we want to hold space for that both in the digital and in the physical. And we want all of your creative ideas and leadership on how to do that. And just please know I'm always here. You can reach out to me on Hilo or via email to support you if you're having trouble with the Hilo platform, or if you have an idea for what this community could get up to. Edward, is there anything you want to share? Edward got kicked out.
Oh no, we lost Edward. That's okay.
I just invited him back in. Yeah.
I'll just add that did you say he came back, Tyler, or you don't see him?
I don't know.
Okay.
Back.
No worries. Yeah, so we'll be hosting these twice a month regular events that you can show up to as is fitting with your schedule. But we also want to invite folks to host their own events and to share about other BioFi aligned events in the community, including in-person events. As Tyler said, we really want people to gather in their bioregions and come together to form strategies, bioregional regeneration strategies for the places that they call home. So with that, why don't we open up for Q&A for a few minutes? We invite folks to raise their hand to ask any questions you want to ask to the BioFi project team or to the broader community. And then we'll have a few minutes at the end for Claire from Hilo to walk us through the Hilo platform and just share a little bit about the features there. So yeah, you know what's available to you.
Yeah, I'd ask one, and sorry if this is laid out in the book, but it talks about the bioregional strategy and the bioregional organizing team. Do those things have to come before a BFF, or can they sort of evolve together?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Zeb. And in the book, we do say that you don't need a bioregional regeneration strategy to start a BFF, but the BFF, if it's created before that's in existence, the governance structure needs to be written so that it can evolve to be in service to the bioregional regeneration strategy once it's created. And just like speaking from my own perspective, my theory of change is that we need the participatory process to envision what's possible in our bioregion in a really long-term way to drive how capital flows in order to support the transition to a truly regenerative economy. So I think the bioregional regeneration strategy, and that can take many different forms, but I think that's a really important piece of developing bioregional finance more broadly. And the bioregional organizing team is, in my view, just it can look different in different bioregions, but it's a group of folks coming together in a place that are mapping all of the various regenerative efforts going on in that place and bringing people together to do shared envisioning and shared creation for new institutions to serve the bioregion. I hope that helps, Seb. Yeah, thank you. Dirk, please.
Yes, thank you, Samantha. I have a question on the what you mentioned earlier about the monthly meeting where projects could be shared or brought forward. What's the maturity of the project you're looking for? Is it any, like, even if you're just starting, or is it more from a best practice sharing, or is it more of a you bring something in for the community to basically just ideate and help? So just to understand the scope of what you suggest is brought in.
Yeah, I think it's both and certainly it doesn't need to be fully baked. We have it all figured out. We'll share with you what we learned. I think it's more folks that are working on projects that are related to bioregional finance, and they are looking for input from the community and from the BioFi project team. Maybe they're looking for collaborators, but also, probably they're doing something innovative that they can share and we can all benefit from learning from them and with them. So yeah, it really doesn't need to be fully baked. I would say probably more than just a proposal, right? Like if you have a proposal, that's something that's great to share in Hilo, right? Create a post and, but maybe like move along to a stage where it's, yeah, it's starting to be actualized before you share it with the field building call. But I think we're kind of figuring this out as we go. We have, I think, a few more minutes if we have one or two more questions. Tom, please go ahead. You're on mute, Tom.
Sorry, I was just noticing a lot of people wanting to help and collaborate here, and there's a lot of good energy here. Is there going to be like a network where we can maintain contact with these people?
Yeah, that's in the high-low group, right? Hopefully, everyone on the call today,
Okay,
or
cool.
most people on the call today, will join that group, and you'll be able to find each other there and figure out ways to work together. And Claire will walk us through some of the high-low features, like the asks and offers platform that's available in high-low. There can be event sharing there. I see Claire sent the link to the group. So yeah, it's in the chat.
And just on the workshopping a project, will there be kind of a bit of guidance on what will be required to present something on that?
I don't think we have any guidance on that right now, but we can work on that. That's a good suggestion. Thank you.
There's in the sort of application form that'll offer a little bit of guidance to some extent, but we can figure out how to clarify that.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks
Thank you,
for setting up the call.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Carrie, please go ahead.
I think this is probably too technical, but first of all, thank you all for this amazing work and super exciting to be engaged in this activity. The technical question I've been rattling around is, how do we think about bioregional strategy and BFFs in the context of planetary boundaries? And so that's probably a bigger question for a longer conversation later, but I just wanted to put it in the ether so that maybe somebody here has thought more about that, and maybe you all have. But anyway, that's something that's really of interest to me.
I love that question. Sounds like a BioFi deep dive topic for me, both planetary boundaries and social thresholds, right? Like using the donut model and downscaling that to a bioregion. And I know there are a number of cities and maybe a couple of states that have done that, but I haven't seen it done in a bioregion yet. So that could be really cool to bring, some social scientists, some biophysical scientists to talk about what that downscaling might look like. Great, thank you, Carrie. Eliza, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people have gathered on this call, and I can see very quickly how this will fan out into fairly high degrees of complexity as we start to weave ourselves together into a cohesive movement. And bioregionalism is certainly a very important conceptual step. But I also invite us to consider organizing along watersheds, and that's sort of what I bring to offer, is to really align with water itself as we are water and come into that collaboration with the nature of water, which is everything. And so it seems to me it's a simple design solution that needs to be brought forward. So that's.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eliza. And I believe that watersheds are one way to map a bioregion. And in the book, we lay out different approaches to mapping those. And we're not, holding to one idea of how that is mapped. Brad, please go ahead and we'll be quick, and then over to Claire to give us a quick high-low demo.
Yeah, just curious about best practices around organizing teams, forming them, making them happen, and whether you have any kind of existing success stories or progress. I know Cascadia is pointed to a lot, but wondering about, other places around the world.
Yeah, it's a good question. And in this community, we're going to try to focus on BioFi, bioregional finance, and less so on the bioregional organizing, activation, mapping work, because there are a lot of other folks in this space that are doing really, really beautiful work to share their findings and their wisdom there. And so we're more trying to fill this bioregional finance niche. But of course, they're overlapping, and to have bioregional finance work, you need effective bioregional organizing and mapping and activation and all of that. So yeah, thank you for surfacing that question. And maybe we'll do a BioFi deep dive on kind of organizing best practices, and we can bring in Joe Brewer and some of the other folks working in this space to share their wisdom there. Thank you for that, Brad.
Yeah. And as we go to, we may discover ways to sort of spawn related groups that are part of a kind of broader network of groups on Hilo to support the different interests that are emergent amongst the community. And so part of what we're going to do as the kind of organizing team of this BioFi community of practice is to try to respond to where the energy is and help to provide containers for those kinds of conversations.
Awesome. Thank you, Edward. Claire, over to you.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to share my screen. Hey, everyone. Really good to be with you all today. My name is Claire. I'm the director of product for Hilo, and I'm also part of the BioFi team. So major crossover energy. This is the BioFi group on Hilo. If anyone has not already joined, I put the link in the chat a little ways back, but there's already about 130 of us in here, so that's awesome. The space has a lot of energy, so this is just a quick welcome and orientation. The main view is the stream, and you're going to see all the cool stuff happening, upcoming events. I noticed a lot of people starting to share other events and about their projects. That's exactly what we want. And this is a great way for us to be finding each other asynchronously. We'd love for you to post about your project, where you are, and then that way others in the group will be able to find you if they're in the same bioregion. Like all that good connection that was happening in the chat, we can be doing that on Hilo in a more durable way and finding each other beyond just the calls. So to share something with the group, you just create a post and you can click this bar up here or the create button. And there's different things on Hilo that you can share. It can be a discussion, a request, or an offer. We love to see that because all the things you were sharing in the chat, put them on here because then people can be finding them over time asynchronously and connecting around what you need in your request or what you have to offer. To share your project, you could do a project and you have your title, what you want to say about it. You can post photos, attachments, name other people that are a part of it, and put the location. If there's links, you can add all that stuff here. And then that way we can find your project and see what it's all about. And a couple of people have already
I want to
shared.
just emphasize this particular thing. I would love for us to build basically a roster of projects which is representative of the community here. That is something that's a durable resource that we can browse ongoingly. It would be amazing.
Yes, 100%. So we already have some awesome projects here. I'd loved reading about these. So add your projects so that we can all see what you're doing. And yeah, you can discover who else is here. We have an amazing list of humans already. Thanks to everyone that has filled out their profile. I really want to recommend putting in a picture. It's nice to see your face. Great to see what people are working on so you can start to connect based on skills, interests, what people are learning. Your profile is in the top right profile, and then yes, let's go there. Here we go. You can edit it. There is an edit button in the top right of that. So that's where you can go in and say what you're working on. You can put your location. Please put your location because then we can find you on the map. And because this is a group for people that like place-based things, we're definitely going to have a lot of fun with our map. This is my local area, so there's me. But if we zoom out to the whole world, we can start to see where everyone is gathering. And hopefully there's a bunch of other people in my bioregion. Oh my gosh, look at all these other people in this group that are in my zone. Amazing. So you can discover who's around. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. That's like the 100 level intro. But if you have any issues using Hilo, feel free to send me a DM. DMs are in the top right corner right over here. Yeah, just send me a DM and I'll get you sorted out. And really excited to have this space to share with you all.
Thank you, Claire. And we're really excited to be using Hilo. Hilo is stewarded by an amazing group called the Terran Collective. It's held in the Commons. It is in service to bioregional organizing. And we're really happy to be using a social media platform that is so values aligned with the BioFi project. And yeah, if you have any questions, we know it's a new platform. Any challenges, feel free to reach out to Claire. You can also reach out to Tyler or I. But we think this is the perfect place for us to share about what we're up to. And I love the map feature. I was already getting questions in the chat and in my breakout group of how do I find people in my bioregion. So it's right there. It's on the map, and posting a project, sharing what your bioregion is can also help you find people in that place. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. We are so grateful that all of you showed up, that you are excited about BioFi and about co-creating this community together. We will be reviewing all of the things you shared in the chat and in the poll and using that to inform what we offer in Hilo and in our events and our future gatherings. We'll be sharing more place-based events too in the future. So if any of the BioFi project team are speaking in in-person events or conferences, I know some of us are going to be at Climate Week in New York, and there might be some BioFi related gatherings around that. We'll be sharing those. So just keep an eye out for more details on places to gather in the future. And if you have any follow-up questions that didn't get answered today, you can email us at hello@biofi.earth. I think Tyler is going to share that in the chat. Tyler, over to you for the final minute.
The final minute. I just want to sit with you all for a second and breathe together and just enjoy our presence before we go on to whatever's next. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the incredible energy you put in the chat. I'm so excited to meet you all and see what we create here together. Yeah, and as you wish, I invite you to unmute and just say farewell and say any thanks you have, and we'll see you all so soon.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Sam. You might need to give people permission to unmute. There you go.
Gratitude. Gratitude and blessings all. Keep going.
Happy birthday, Edward.
Happy birthday,
Thanks,
Edward.
everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ed.